And now, it's BoomerLife, lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is BoomerLife on CIL 650.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Bum, 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 bum. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Bum, 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 bum.
Mr. Sandman, back to the 50s and the cornets. Hello and welcome to Boomer Life for Saturday morning here on CIL 650. And on the program today, we're talking about your health and the importance a good night's sleep contributes to good overall health. And with us in studio are the Sleep Solutions experts, Dave Temlett and Terry Harder from Innovative Sleep Solutions in South Surrey, White Rock. Dave and Terry, good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you both.
Good morning, Sterling.
Good morning,
Great to be
Sterling.
here.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Sleep Solutions. Terry and Dave, you've been partners in this enterprise now for a couple of years. It's coming up to year 2 already, isn't it, Dave?
Last Sunday actually was the completion of our second full year in business. So we're now into year 3.
And after the first year, you became eligible for and immediately qualified for admission into the Better Business Bureau, and that's an important part of the second year, isn't it?
Absolutely it is. Just added more credibility to what we're doing and getting the message out there that we're different than other retailers. We carry the healthiest products available in all of Canada.
And Terry, you and Dave have both been in the sleep business for a very long time. Between you, over 50 years of selling sleep products to British Columbians. You know what you're talking about here.
We do, but you made me feel kind of old there, Sterling.
Well, it's
over
divided
50.
by 2, Terry.
Now I feel better.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, it's been exciting times. We're really starting to see our business grow. We've had 2 of the best months of the last 3 since we've been opening our doors. So it's exciting to see that all these things that we're doing consistently, like being on the radio show every month, consistently doing advertising in the province, the internet, doing home shows, all of those things has actually really brought us more and more to looking down the road at expanding. So it's exciting times for us, Sterling.
Interesting stuff. Now, you mentioned those home shows, and I know Terry usually is the tip of the spear guy when Innovative Sleep Solutions hits the ground running at these consumer and trade shows. Terry, you were at Coquitlam, and then more recently, you were at the Richmond home shows. And this is an opportunity for people who hear you on the radio, who maybe haven't popped into the store for a visit yet, to come by and say hello and have a look at some of the products. And it's a big deal when you hit the home shows, isn't it?
And not only that, we see the changes at the home show when people come up and say, oh, you're the guys on Boomer Life. We hear your radio show. And yes, we are, and it's quite exciting to know that people are hearing, getting our message, and they bring it up at the home show.
Mm-hmm.
So that it makes us know that it's working what we're doing, and people are enjoying the program and enjoying what we're doing in these home shows.
Well, isn't it fun, Dave, when you get to the point where you've developed a kind of a profile with your customers in the marketplace, that when you and Terry go out to events or even when people come into the showroom, because they know they've heard you two on the radio forever and a day, that now the next big question is, so which one are you?
Yeah, when they come in the store, absolutely, that's very correct, and it's kind of flattering. Are you Dave or Terry?
Mm-hmm.
And naturally, when we answer the telephone, we are getting people telling us all the time that they've heard our show or they've seen our advertising, because we do have a picture of us in our advertising. Because
sure.
That's part of the image, is putting us out there with it. But as you mentioned, yeah, we've both been doing this a long time. Good heavens, my start goes all the way back to Woodward's in 1981 in retail, and I was with them for 12 years, and then first manager and employee hired with Sleep Country Canada back in 1994, and that's where I met my good friend and business partner Terry. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun over the last couple of years doing our own thing, for sure, and we really are making some great progress out there. And the response coming in from the general public and the customers, and it's really, quite frankly, it's overwhelming. It really is.
Mm-hmm. And it's all about good health. Innovative Sleep Solutions, the name of the company, Terry, is very deliberate. 2 guys, 50 years accumulated experience between you. You want to go into business for yourselves. You know exactly what you're going to sell, and you have a fairly clear understanding of your customer base or potential customer base, and yet you go for a company name that says a whole lot about your business model. Innovative Sleep Solutions.
And yes, Sterling, and we could very well call it Innovative Health Solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping in mind that our true purpose is to improve not only the quality of your sleep, but obviously the health of your sleep. We're all looking for something to restore our cycle as far as different things, stress. It's a very big stress reliever to be able to have proper 6 to 8 hours of sleep.
And the other side of that coin is just look at somebody. Well, look around you and look at the most stressed out, unhappiest looking person in the room. That's probably the person who had the most terrible sleep last night, because it goes hand in glove, doesn't it?
Direct correlation. Yeah, I almost guarantee that people that live a long time, they have it beat. They know how to sleep.
Sure.
That's an important key.
Another interesting study just a few days ago, just the last couple of days of May, Dave, a week or so ago, a Canadian-based study. And, of course, we opened the program talking about the importance of a good night's sleep to one's overall health and wellness. Well, this study out of Canada recently talked specifically about brain health. Not just your overall body and well-being, but specifically the importance of a good night's sleep just to rest the brain properly so that you can get up the next morning clear-headed and ready for another day.
Yeah, and it's so true. You can't function without sleep. So many car accidents, so many collisions out there from sleep deprivation. Recently, a couple of months ago, there was that big one down on Highway 1 near Willingdon, where the driver fell asleep at the wheel and caused a big collision. And, you know, this sort of thing happens all the time. Also, a couple of months ago on the Coquihalla, the bus driver that fell asleep and the bus overturned.
That's right.
You know, same thing. So it's all part and parcel to getting a good night's sleep for sure. Is how you're going to function the next day.
So see, you go on the we're pretty rabid consumers of the internet. We Canadians, you look at the numbers, and we stack up pretty well against anywhere else on Earth in terms of a population that has learned to appreciate the internet. So you go on the internet, you start doing your Google searches, and you're looking for, well, sleep tips. You're looking for improving my sleeping habits and overall. But isn't it curious that when you're searching and probing around on the internet, no one seems to include a top-quality bed
Isn't that strange?
On these lists of sleep tips and improving your sleep life? How weird is that, Dave?
Well, it is, because obviously the mattress that you're sleeping on, whatever brand it is going to be a huge part of the sleep cycle.
Yeah.
Allowing you to get comfortable, allowing you or preventing you from tossing and turning, to actually fall into a deeper REM sleep, REM, rapid eye movement, or a delta sleep, where you get the most restorative sleep. So whether it's on a floor or it's on a good quality mattress, I mean, chances are you're not going to sleep that well on a floor. So you need a good mattress.
Well, that's true. And it's interesting because when some people who have back issues, for example, and require a firmer sleeping surface, they will go for those super hard surfaces. And Dave, I'm sure that you've experienced and offered advice in more than one instance where it's maybe not about firmness as much as it's about support.
Well, that's exactly right. And again, going back to my last statement about the floor, you can't get a firmer substance than sleeping on the ground or the floor.
Right.
So to go on a flat mattress or a very, very firm mattress, you know, same thing's going to happen. You're going to obviously increase pressure points on areas such as your hips and your shoulders and the side of your arm if you're a side sleeper. So to get something very firm is not necessarily the best thing to do. You need something that's going to contour your shoulders, your hips, allowing your spine to fit the orthopedically correct spinal alignment, giving you support and comfort. So to get a really firm bed, it's not generally in the best interest of the sleeper, because that is going to give you too firm of a substance to get a good support.
Right. So it's all about support rather than just like a plank. You can do better than that.
Exactly.
Right? Terry, do you think people get so used to sleeping on a poor quality mattress that they've forgotten what a good night's sleep really actually feels like?
Oh, absolutely, Sterling, and that's why we mentioned to consumers when they're looking for a new bed. I often will mention that typically they've done studies to determine that people will procrastinate for over 5 years on a better night's sleep. Well, why is that? Well, I know we're putting away some money for a children's college fund,
Sure.
or where we want to go on a vacation. Different things come up. However, once you have a sleep on another bed and you come home to yours, then you really notice how poor a quality sleep you're having on your bed. And at that point, quite often, somebody decides, now we'll do something about it. But quite often, that's 5, 6 years after the fact. So life is too short. And if we want to live as long as we can, and we should, people should consider making that change. Put their bed in the guest room bed. You probably don't get that many guests a week or two, and it's probably adequate for your guests to sleep on periodically.
Yeah.
And consider getting a better night's sleep for yourself. And don't put it off for 5 or 6 years. Try and find a way to do it sooner rather than later.
But it's interesting you mentioned vacation, because that's a good excuse for not buying things while we're saving up our money. We're going to take the family, we're going to go to Cuba or Hawaii or whatever. Have you ever gone on vacation and been there, and you get up the first morning you're on vacation and you walk downstairs, you feel like $1,000,000. Oh man, did I have a good night's sleep? I can't believe how well I slept. It must be the fact that I'm on the beach 1,000 miles from home without a care in the world. Well, of course, your whole vacation experience, Dave, turns out to be a fantastic sleep experience. And you come back home and you get into your bed on the first day and go, oh man, oh, some improvement needed here. Vacations can be a bit eye-opening that way, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people will actually look at the mattress they slept on in the hotel.
That's right. And make a note. Write it down.
In fact, just recently had a lady that had stayed in a resort in Maui, and she phoned us because she found out it was a Serta mattress, and we do, we're the largest Serta dealer in Surrey. And she phoned looking for this particular brand or this particular name. And so as it turned out, though, going back, doing some investigating, the mattress that she slept on in Maui was discontinued about 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is every year the manufacturers will come out with a new product line, and then they end up changing the specifications slightly. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is don't get so caught up on what the name of that mattress was at the resort, because chances are, with over 45 different mattresses in our store, we probably have something that's, if not comparable to it, that it's going to be even give you a better sleep than what you experienced there.
Right.
So it really is about coming in and trying the product out and not getting caught up in a particular name that's on the mattress in the hotel room. And the other contributing factors when you're on holidays is you're away on vacation, you're relaxing, you don't have the stresses of your everyday life at home.
All too true. You
don't have the grandchildren issues, you don't have the your own kid issues, that sort of thing, because you're away from that. So these things are all going to contribute to why you slept so much better in that hotel. So again, don't get caught up on the name of the bed.
But it's interesting, when you go on vacation, you do get a chance to really let a lot of the stress in your life ease away, and that's one of the reasons we fork over the big dough to do it. But when you go on vacation, you have arthritis, you take your arthritis with you. And you have a bad back, you take your bad back with you. And maybe when you start sleeping a little better on vacation, maybe it's a combination of a lot less stress, but maybe it's also that surface, that mattress that you're sleeping on with the arthritis or the bad back that suddenly seems to be able to make me feel as though I didn't have that problem by the time I woke up. So, Terry, it's a combination of factors, isn't it?
Absolutely, Sterling. We just don't know. You hit the nail on the head as far as we really don't know how much a good bed can improve the quality of our sleep and take away some of those aches and pains that we're experiencing at home.
And that's one of the other reasons that Terry and Dave have chosen to name their company Innovative Sleep Solutions, because the product line in the store covers or at least addresses pretty much every human health issue there is known in terms of sleep problems. We'll talk lots more about how to look for a bed, how to shop for a bed and the right mattress, and any number of combinations when we return here on Boomer Life with Terry Harder and Dave Temlett and Terry Harder from Innovative Sleep Solutions. And they, of course, are down on King George Boulevard, right across from South Surrey Auto Mall in South Surrey, White Rock. I will get my name tags adjusted and take the following quick break. We'll be right back.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.